What's up guys, welcome to the very first top 5 gaming video of 2013. I am joined by my collaborator Shane aka Dragoonxls. You saw him in my top 10 best and worst of the year. You also saw him in the top 5 fight scenes last year as well.
Yep, I've been in a lot of your videos actually.
Yeah, Looper, Wreck-It Ralph reviewed, the Django and Shane review, he's been in a lot of stuff. To kick off the first top 5 gaming video with a huge bang, we are here to tell you about our top 5 favorite games of all time. This isn't from the 2012 or 2011 or 2010, this is all-time lists we're talking about
yeah, this is from beginning when we first started playing video games up until this point in time now.
Exactly.
So a broad spectrum of things. We're talking the best ones that we've ever played in our entire life. The best of the best, the ones that have impacted us, the masterpieces, I have all of them. Oh yeah.
And now, alright, we have a few honorable mentions, well I have 3 of them, so I guess honorable mentions goes to Resident Evil 4. This was the game that redefined Resident Evil as a survival horror genre, brought the over-the-shoulder look to the camera, and of course it features my favorite Resident Evil character, Leon S. Kennedy.
Hell yes!
My favorite character of all time in Resident Evil history. The only con I have about this game, the reason why I just missed the because I think in a way it pretty much f***ed up the Resident Evil series.
Well, it was the beginning of basically the decline. Even though 4 was spectacular, it was still, unfortunately, the decline.
Yeah. From there on, Resident Evil 5, not so great. Resident Evil 6, pretty much like, it's on life support.
I really hope that Cliff Bleszinski actually,
that's what
holds up to his promise. Hey Capcom, let's go ahead and fix this together.
My next honorable mention is Final Fantasy X. You have a great cast of likable characters. It's one of the few turn-based strategy games I like, which
except for those points where Titus is a whiny little bitch.
Pretty much, yeah.
But he's still a likable character, though.
Yeah, I mean Auron, I think that's his name. Auron, yes.
Is so cool.
I think her name is the main summon chick. I forgot her name is. What was her name?
Holy sh! This is one of our favorites, and we forgot her name.
Yeah, I totally forgot about her. The summons are great, the boss fights are great, and if you guys want to, we will do a top 5 favorite turn-based strategy games. If you guys want, comment down on stuff if you want.
I'll do that.
My final honorable mention goes to Diablo 2. It is the only PC game I have on the list for honorable mentions, and the reason why is because my friend Cody talked me into getting this game. He talked me into it, and I love it. I have Diablo 3 on my Mac. I'm kind of happy it's coming out for the PS4 and the Mac, even though it's kind of useless for the PS3. All the classes are great, the dungeons are amazing in Diablo 2. I still play it to this day. Just without going any further, Diablo 2 is a near masterpiece in my opinion.
I've got 2 honorable mentions actually. Okay, so for the first one would be BioShock. Now, the thing is because it's on the honorable mentions, is because if it was just an older game, I could put it more as a novelty.
Right.
But it revolutionized the way how FPSs work.
Exactly.
It's not just you're going out and killing things. It's actually a pretty big work of art.
Exactly, yes.
So I can respect it in that term.
Yes.
As an aspiring artist, I can say. That, unfortunately, has to be on the honorable mentions. If the list was a top 10, it would be in that.
Oh,
but this is for 5.
Yeah.
Now, the second one would be Devil May Cry 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now the thing is because this list tore me apart a little bit on the inside when I had to put it.
It's hard to, like I said, huge bang.
It is. It's just because the characters are so likable and it's so badass.
Exactly.
It is. It's basically how action games are now made these days.
Pretty much,
to make that Devil May Cry stand. But unfortunately, because of the lack of story, of a bunch of other things, it's not making it on the top list, but it is still an amazing game nonetheless. Number 5.
This was on Shane's honorable mentions, and that is the first BioShock. I cannot tell you guys how much I adore this game. I actually reviewed it a couple weeks back, and I gave it a perfect 10 out of 10. I love how the creator Ken Levine says, we're not going to go with multiplayer, I'm focusing on making an amazing single player experience, and that's exactly what he did. And this is one of the few games I have beaten and that I have gone back to beating multiple times. Like literally, I have beaten BioShock 1 8 times.
And when you go back to play a game over and over again, and even though you expect everything, that's saying something.
Yes, I would have it on my Mac on my first playthrough. So technically, I'm on my 9th playthrough of it.
Good deal.
I love this game so much. Revolutionized the FPS genre, but it also has some great terrible horror elements in there as well, like when you go down corridors, the darkened corners, the little scissors that still creep me out to this day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And plus the game has one thing that not many FPS games these days have. strategy. When it comes to plasmids, you have to use the environment to your advantage, like telekinesis. You get a chair, fling it out of a splicer, or fling another splicer at the splicer. I don't know, like the Bioshock alone is just a phenomenal game. If you have not played it,
shame on you.
Go out and get it already.
It's a really cheap game, actually.
It's out for the PC, it's out for the Mac, it's out for the PS3, it's out for the Xbox, and in fact they released a dual package for Bioshock 1 and 2, which Bioshock 2 sadly does not make the cut.
Alright, number 5 for me was the start of me getting into JRPGs, which would be Final Fantasy X.
Nice.
The thing with Final Fantasy X is the first time I saw it on the PS2 was a cutscene nearby the end of the game, unfortunately. But I still didn't understand a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I saw the graphics in the in-game the first time. Not in-game, but the cutscene graphics, I was blown away. It was like, whoa. This is like Xbox 360 quality for regular. It would pass for 360 quality graphics on a PlayStation 2. It was something to behold. It was something great.
I remember my friend in Georgia was like, "Dude, get Final Fantasy X." I got it. I was blown away.
Yeah. Now, the only mention, the characters are great, even though Titus is a whiny bitch. My dad's a jerk. Even though he...
Jeff is kind of a d***, though.
He is a bit of a jerk. But, I mean, amazing characters, the setting is awesome, the blend of magic and technology.
Absolutely.
Airships, man.
And the summons, dude.
The summons are Yuna is so freaking cool. That is what her name is, by the way.
There we go!
The whole story of it is amazing, and oh my god, that ending. That ending.
It just popped in my head. Oh god.
That ending.
Excuse me if I cry a little bit.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's one of the most heartbreaking endings I've ever seen.
It was, but it was good.
Number 4.
Alright, number 4. Now this is an action RPG. I love action RPGs. That goes to Kingdom Hearts 1.
Ah, good choice.
Now I was trying to decide between 1 and 2, but here's the thing. Kingdom Hearts 1 had a better story. Kingdom Hearts 2 had better gameplay.
Yeah.
What do I go with? The better storyline. Sora, totally an awesome character voiced by Haley Joel Osment, who does a
maybe a child robot, but still did a very good job on Sora. One of the most awesome and well-known Japanese characters of our time.
Absolutely. Riku, then Kairi, who became hot as hell in the second game. That was a little creepy.
Character development.
Kingdom Hearts has known pretty much, not only because of its gameplay, but the way how it combines the worlds of Final Fantasy and the Disney worlds together, and it does it perfectly.
It's the strangest thing, because you never think, like, holy crap, you got Final Fantasy and Disney put
You never think that would mix, just like that.
You haven't lived until you heard a Japanese Goofy.
Or you haven't lived until you fought Sephiroth,
Oh my god. That was the thing, is back when I used to play Kingdom Hearts, a long time ago, was the bragging rights of who beat Sephiroth first.
God, I remember that. Kingdom Hearts is my number 4th favorite game of all time. I love that game so much.
Number 4 for me is a very overlooked game. Well, it's a series, but this is series 1 through 4, and that would be the Dot Hack series. Now the thing is that this game is a very overlooked game because of its concept, the character design, the graphics, that kind of thing, but the thing is, it's phenomenal. The concept of Dot Hack is the fact that you're playing a MMO in single player.
Exactly.
So you're playing as a character who's just played this game for the first time, and it's awesome because it's like virtual reality. And then when your friend, who is like this pro at this game and a legend, and he gets destroyed by a monster. Oh no, I should go out and make friendships, and then and he does, and then it turns out to be a much deeper thing, which is part of the anime feel of it.
Yeah.
That friendships goes on much further than just the virtual world.
Yeah.
Because you actually feel for these characters. They have real lives. The final boss of the first volume is a bitch.
Yeah, it pissed me off, but so to this day I've never been I'll get back into it now.
You might, but so the thing, unfortunately though, Dot Hack seems to be at a very huge standstill. After many games afterwards, which honorable mention towards Dot Hack GU.
That I loved so much.
GU, but the thing is,
GU is a very overlooked game.
It is. Dot Hack in general is a very overlooked series.
Yeah. Alright, my number 3. Now, I am a huge survival horror gamer. I love survival horror games. This one goes to Resident Evil 2. Now, taking from starting Craig Screw Attack. Why do I choose Resident Evil 1? Great game, scary as hell, but the thing is, too much emphasis on the puzzles. Resident Evil 3, also a great game, but too emphasis on the action. Resident Evil 2, perfectly combines the aspects just seamlessly. And it has the introduction of my favorite Resident Evil character of all time, Leon Kennedy. He is a badass. I love.
Super badass.
And to this day, Resident Evil 2 is the scariest game I've ever played next to Doom 3. I've gotten jump scared by a Linker so many times in that game. It's insane.
Especially that part with the one-way mirror with the dog.
Oh god.
That was the worst thing ever.
I was like in my seat. I was like. I jumped out of my seat and I just ran the other way. It scared the shit out of me. Resident Evil 2 pretty much defined the survival horror genre. It had great scares, amazing atmosphere, great controls, great characters, even though the voice acting is so-and-so.
Yeah, it was better than the first one, but the second one made
I still remember the driving scene where he was like, no! Other than that, the voice acting was great from
You gotta give a hand to Leon. It was his first day being a police officer.
Yeah.
What the hell of a first day. Number 3 for me is a very old game.
Oh boy.
The thing is, it was my first ever owned video game of all time back when I was 4. And that would be Super Mario 64.
Nice.
Yes, Super Mario 64. Let's see. Well, how can I put it this way? Only the best platformer of all time. It was amazing when I first played it. I'm like, oh my god, Mario. Why are you so cool?
You're Orgasmal.
I was 4 at the time, and I could not get off the N64 because of this game. It was like, just one more star. I just need that other star. It was just so great. I loved the whole design of Mario 2 because it was something new for me. I was just getting into video games. Perfect way to get into it. The platforming elements are amazing. The fact how you jump into worlds through paintings is also a very interesting concept.
Sick, yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's Mario. It's amazing. How can you not love it?
How can you not like Mario in general?
Exactly.
But sadly, it didn't make my top 5. Don't attack me, please.
That's all good.
Okay, thank God.
Miyamoto, thank you. So overall, Super Mario 64, one of the best platformers of all time. First game I got ever into. Perfect way to start off everything in my journey up into game development.
Number 2.
Number 2. Now, this franchise, Shane knows this one. I have been a long-time fan of this franchise for such a long time. It is my favorite franchise of all time. That means number 2 goes to Devil May Cry 3.
Yes!
Just like BioShock, I adore this game so much.
I dare you to play the third one, not the special edition.
I have played it, it is hard as hell.
Oh yeah.
So that's the reason why I like this game. Not only is because it's challenging as hell. I mean, it's challenging.
It's very challenging.
And plus, I mean, the Devil May Cry series, I've always loved it. I love its mythology, of its gothic theme, especially from the first one, which blew me away the first time I played it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The styles was submitted 3, like Gunslinger, Trickster, Swordmaster, what was the other
Royal
one?
Guard.
Yeah, but the one I always used was Trickster. It was so fun to use. And the boss fights were freaking awesome in this game. And
every single one.
You guys will feel my pain if you've played Devil May Cry 3, got the special edition, against Virgil for the final time. My god, that boss fight pissed me off so much, but after a bazillion tries, I finally beat it, and I was like, yeah.
You hear that, guys?
I jumped up and I was applauding. It was awesome.
Bazillion, non-existent number. That's how we can only describe the non-special edition.
And that's why I love Devil May Cry so much, because it's a challenging game, and I just love the gameplay. I love the characters, even though some of the lines are cheesy as hell. Like
lines are, and the fact that this thing is that it doesn't have much of a story besides the fact that it has an anime now, which I highly recommend.
Which I have too, by the way.
Excellent.
But it is one of the greatest games I've ever played, and I can say right now, it is a masterpiece.
It is.
I played the DMC HD collection really before the new Devil May Cry game came out, and it was still a bitch to beat Virgil on special edition.
Alright, number 2. The ones between these two games, before 1 and 2, is a tough decision for me, but I'll have to give 2 to this one. And it is also a very overlooked game, but in the East, it is like the World of Warcraft over there, and that would be Monster Hunter. Starting from 1 all the way up until the new one coming out, phenomenal. I mean, the first time I ever played the first one, I was a bit skeptical about it, because I was like, I'm not sure about it, and then after I played it, over and over and over again, it got amazing. Hell, I even got this shirt from Japan for it.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Walking Dead shirt, just saying.
I cannot express how much I wish people would get into this game. It is, but it's great. But here's the thing, though, it is not for everyone. In terms of that, it's a really, really tough game. I got 6 friends into it. All of them just about pretty much quit when they hit the actual first real hunt. Because they just couldn't do it. They actually quit the game.
Yeah, I myself, Cody got me into it, and I think after the 5th hunt, it just became too frustrating. I just was like, F this, and I just quit it.
But
I actually have it on my iPhone, believe it or not. I have Monster on my iPhone, and I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I've gotten so far, I've clocked in almost near 800 hours with this game.
Near 800 hours.
With all the games combined, from the first one all the way to the 3rd, and even to the PSP titles.
Now that's the dedicated gamer right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's a dedicated gamer.
An excellent experience.
Yeah.
Capcom, why do you have to keep Frontier in Japan? I hate you so much right now, but I love you at the same time. Monster Hunter, please check it out. It is something definitely worth looking into.
It's #1.
Number 1. I was young when I first played this game. My friend Dominique, one of my brother's best friends, Dominique, came over. I was in Georgia at the time. I played the game. I fell in love with it, so I credit her for getting me into this game. And this was the first emulated game I ever owned. I knew, like, literally years later when I played it again, I knew this was going to be my favorite game of all time. Dates back to the N64 days. My favorite game of all time is Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yeah, it is a very phenomenal game.
It is.
It's very crude, but it's very, it's funny.
And plus, hey, it stars a red squirrel. Where do you find that? One of the main things about the game is how it parodies different things. Like it parodies Saving Private Ryan, it parodies The Matrix, it parodies so many things, and it is one of the games that, even though I've seen the parody so many times, I still laugh my ass off every single time I play it.
It's a very phenomenal game, because I mean, when you first look at it, it's like, this probably could be a children's game.
Yes.
Which it was at first, and then they took the huge direction towards the mature part.
Which I am so glad they did.
Yeah.
And by the way, where the hell is the sequel? I swear, Rare. If you announce a sequel right now, I would go to GameStop right now and pre-order the highest edition possible. And plus the fact that the game also has a phenomenal multiplayer to it. There are so many things to do in the multiplayer mode. And plus, if you get the cheat codes, you can unlock the characters. And it is one of the very first games I actually used cheat codes on. But the thing is, I really needed them to do it. I always remember, I am the great mighty Pooh.
Oh yeah, you can't forget that.
I am going to throw my shit at you. Every time I play that level, I am always it leaves me in stitches laughing so hard.
It's one of the very most memorable characters / levels that you could ever play. I mean,
and plus, the level that parodies The Matrix, and the beginning of parodies Clockwork Orange. I go to my friend Cody's house so much, and every single time I go there, we play the hell out of the multiplayer, and we always have a fun time. We always end up laughing. We always put the raptor level because the raptors are the dumbest things on the earth. Like, the last time we played it, I was holding the egg, and this raptor was circling around me. I was chasing its tail. And
oh my god.
It's one of those games that, I swear, if you haven't played it, if you haven't had 64 still, you missed out on one of the greatest games ever made now.
Even if you have to, find an emulator or something of this. It is phenomenal.
It is my favorite game of all time. It is the definition of a masterpiece, in my opinion. It's crude, it's rude, it's immature, but it's hilarious, it's addicting, it has great multiplayer, a great storyline, awesomely funny characters, and I forgot, it parodies, I don't know if it was Alien or Aliens near the end. Yeah. It parodies one of those 2 movies, and just the fact it does it so well. Scary movie, you could learn a lesson from Conker's Bad Fur Day. I am just saying.
Alright, now for number 1 is because it's just the whole reminiscing fact of between this game and the times that I was ready for the second one.
Yeah.
And then came the other sequels that tend to be before the first one, and it got really confusing. It has a very convoluted storyline. Let me just go ahead and go into it. Kingdom Hearts.
Right on.
Starting with the first one, yes. Kingdom Hearts 1 was one of the, the reason why I liked it now is because, looking back on it, it was a really simple game.
It was, yeah.
It was simple, very fun, loved the characters, loved the whole idea behind it. Absolutely phenomenal, because now if you look at Kingdom Hearts now, you might have to look up a guide on the story.
Yeah.
It's really, really in-depth.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it's Disney and Square Enix. I mean,
the best part about it.
That's the thing too, is because I remember the first time I looked at this game, I was like, Disney and Square Enix? What?
You're like,
I was
what?
Yeah, it was really strange, because I'd never seen anything like that. I didn't think Square Enix would have a interest in Disney.
Yeah.
But it turns out later on, as I found out, that the East is very interested in our cultures of the West, while vice versa for us. The storyline was amazing. I cannot wait to see a third one.
Yeah, same here. Release it already, please.
I know. I'm waiting. Like I said before, I'm going to let you know. Yes, there is a Kingdom Hearts 1.5 coming out. The 1.5 is going to include the final mix of the first one.
Yes, I will buy that.
They're going to do final mix of Kingdom Hearts 2 on 2.5 later on, as I discussed. Which will probably lead up to the inevitable release of the third one.
And I'm telling you guys right now at Square Enix, I'm telling you guys right now, when it gets announced, I promise you, I will go out the minute announced and I will pre-order that, just like I said about Conquer.
Oh my God, yes.
I will.
Confusing at first, but once you get it, it's like, that is pretty cool.
And plus the boss fights, again, Sephiroth, one of the hardest freaking bosses ever.
Oh yeah, you didn't fight him once, but twice.
Yep, I remember I fought him at level 60 something. I used the weakest keyblade in the game and I beat him.
Yeah, it's always a competition when it comes to the really strong bosses in the game. Once Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix is coming, Terra, I'm coming for your ass. That's a great game, and not to mention, last part, Keyblades. Freaking awesome.
Alright guys, so that was our top 5 favorite video games of all time, as well as a few honorable mentions. And yes, of course, he'll be back to join us.
Better be.
Oh, you will be. Thank you, Shane, for being here, of course. And until the next top 5 game video, we will see you guys next time.
See you around, and don't forget to subscribe, or I will come over there. I'll come over there.
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.